The topic of this tutorial is what is a variable. So to answer that, I say we use variables to name values, and maybe you have this question that says what is a value? A value, to use values, you have to use data types, which I explained that before. And next question is, how does variables work? For using variables, consider this jar, this jam jar, which has this sticker which tells us what is the contents of the jar. Here we have a sticker with strawberry image on it, and the contents is strawberry jar. It's gonna be exactly like variables. The name is gonna be like this sticker, which is here, and the content is the value, which here is your jam. And your computer use your name, your computer use your memory to create variables, and it's gonna specify a part of the memory to your variable, and it's gonna gives your name to it, and it's gonna put the value in that part which your computer specifies it. And here we have these examples which tells us how we could use variables. And as I said before, first you type your name, you choose your name and you type it. Next you have to type equal sign, and then your value, which here is an integer, and it's going to be exactly like this jam jar, which the name is x and the contents is 4, which name was the sticker, and the contents is the jam. Next one is y equals to 5.4, which is a float data type, and the jar is gonna be like this. Next one is z equal to a time string, which the contents is the word time, and it's gonna be a string data type. The jar will be like this, and next one is the value b, the variable b equals to value true, which is a boolean data type, and the jar is gonna be like this. And as you see, you could use any data type you want you could use any data type you want as a value. And next issue here is can variables change? To answer that, I have to say, imagine you type some codes. It's going to be first line, it's going to be second line, and it's third line, fourth line, and then fifth line. You choose to create a variable called x, and as a value you give 7. So your name of the variable is x, and your value is 7. And when you create a variable in Python, it means from now on, anywhere you used variable x, the value is 7. So in 6th line or 7th line, or more than that, if you use or call or print x, it's gonna be the value is gonna be number 7. And after some codes later, after some lines of code later, you decide to change the value. So it's gonna be like this. In 9th line, you type x is equal to number 10, for example. And it means from now on, like in 10th line and more than that, from now on, your variable x is gonna be the value of your variable is gonna be 10. And in this parts of code, if you use x, you're gonna get an error because you haven't defined it yet. And in this part, if you use x, you're gonna get 7. And in this part, if you use x, it's gonna be 10. And let me remove this and 10. And here I write 7. I write x is equal to 7. Sorry. Here x isn't defined. Alright. And next issue here is how to name variables. So you have to use characters from small a to small z, or or capital A to capital Z, or you could use numbers from 0 to 9, and you could use underscore, not dash. Dash in Python is sign for minus, and you can't use it for a variable name. And here I wrote don't use space, point, digit as first character. You could use digits as second character or third character or more than that, but you couldn't use digits as first character. And you can't use dash, which I mentioned before, and other stuff. And next issue here is name your variable something meaningful, and don't use x or y or z or a, b, c or other stuff as name of the variable. Otherwise, someone else wouldn't be able to read your code, and your code will be dead. And you absolutely don't want that. And I have this title, which is Python is beautiful. You can create too many variables in just one line of code, but how? it's gonna work like this. Instead of typing a equals to 5 and pressing enter, and in the next line typing b is equal to 5, and in the next line typing c is equal to 5, we avoid that and we use a is equal to b equals to c and equals to 5. In this concept, we typed these three parts once, and it's important in programming that you don't you avoid repetition, and instead of typing this 3 times, we typed it once. And we have another concept which is very cool. Instead of using x is equal to 12, in this concept we had exact same values, but in this concept we don't have exact same values, and we have different values. Even the data type is different. So how to type these three lines of code in just one line of code? It's gonna be like this. You type x and you use comma, and you type y and you use comma, and z equal to 12 comma string high and comma and 14.5, which is a float data type, and it's gonna be in order. So the first variable name is gonna get the first value, and the next variable name is gonna get second value, and the third one is gonna get third value. It was as simple as that, and let's try it in Python interpreter. So we type Python, and let's use this PDF here. Alright, and like this. For using variables in Python, it's going to be exactly like mathematics. You type x is equal to 4 and you press enter, and when you want to see what is the value of your variable, you type x and you press enter, and you get 4, which was the value. Next one is y equals to 5.4, and we want to see what is the value of the variable, and we type y and we press enter, and next one is z, which is a string with the word time in it, and when we press enter and we type z for realizing what is the contents of, what is the value or contents of the variable, and we press enter, and we got time, and next one is variable b, which contains true as value, and we press enter and we type b and press enter, and we get true. And next page in code is going to be like this. We gave x a value which is 4, and if I print x or type it and press enter, I will get 4, which was the value. And if I change it, it's gonna be x is equal to 78, and if I press enter, it means from now on x is equal to 78, and it's not gonna be 4, which was before. And I type x and I press enter, and as you can see I got 78. And next one is how to name them. So as you can see, you could use any English character or any English letter to create a variable, and you could use numbers and digits between them, and you could use underscore, as many as you want, and you could use capital letters too. And we gave this a value which is 90, and if we call the name of the variable, we get 90. And as I said before, you don't you must not use space, point, digit as first character, dash and other stuff in name of the variable. So if I use like dash in the variable name, and I press enter, I will get an error. Or if I use space in a variable name and give it a value, I will get error 2. And you can't use digit as first character too, so let's try that too. And 34 as a value, and we press enter, and we got error 2. And point is gonna be like them, so we won't try that. And name your variable something meaningful, and it's gonna be like this. In this variable name, this variable name isn't readable, and you can't read it, and it's gonna be it's gonna make people angry if you use these kinds of names, and your code isn't gonna be clean, and it's too important to write a clean code. And don't use x, y, z, abc and other stuff as the name of the variable, because it's not going to be clean. It can't tell what the value is for. And this last part, which is Python is beautiful, and let's try that in code. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 5, and C is equal to 5. And if you type A and press enter, or B or C, you're gonna get 5 anyway. And you can create variables like this. But if you want to use a better concept, you use A is equal to B is equal to C and equal to your number, which I give 60. And if I press enter, the value of A and B and C, which was 5 before, is gonna change to 60. And I press enter and I type A, I got 60, C and B. And next one is like this. X is equal to 12 and Y is equal to string high and Z is equal to 14.5. And if I call X or Y or Z, I get the values, and I can create variables like this, but it's better to use this concept, which is X and Y and Z is equal to 12. Let's change them to see if they're gonna actually change or not. 9 like 34 and a string with the letter G in it. And let's get them. X is 9, Y is 34, and Z is gonna be a string with the letter G in it. And the last thing here is, don't use this concept, it's gonna cause you bug. If you wanna create multiple variables with same value, you're gonna have to use this concept, and this isn't gonna work. So let's try it. A and B, C and D equal to 19. And when we press enter, we got an error. And the correct concept is A equal to B equal to C equal to D equal to 19. And when you press enter, you won't get any bug or error. And that was it. We're done in this one. See you in next one.